I'm having some ice. So cold. I'm waiting for some other people to come in. 안녕하세요, 예진님. Hello, 예진. Oh, hello, your teacher. Today is a special day in Vietnam because it is Vietnamese Teachers Day. Wow. Even though you are living in Korea, I also so grateful to you. I wish you success and happy. Thank you. Thank you, Hyun. And thank you, hello teacher. Thank you, Hoa Le Hong. Thank you for your great message. 세연님, nice to meet you too. Alright guys. I was chewing some ice, yeah. Because we were shooting the whole day and it was getting really hot in the studio, so I needed to cool down, like chill out a little bit before the show begins, because this show is going to last for about 2 hours. So I was just chewing on some ice, and right now when I breathe out, I can feel cold air coming out from my mouth. Wow, Hyun, yes. Hoa Lu Hong told me that today is the Vietnamese Teachers Day. And yeah, thank you for your grateful messages. Wish you a day of health, luck. Okay, thank you very much. Wow, can you believe it? It's been already a month. It's been a month and it's already the end of November. It's November 20th. And it's almost a year with this COVID situation, and we have only about 1 month remaining for this year, 2020. So many things have happened and so many changes have happened in our lives, and I hope everybody is just cooling down, chilling out, and trying to get ready for the next year. Actually, we weren't even able to enjoy this year, right? 2020 it was a very miserable time for everyone, I guess. Hello, Sato. Nice to have you on our show today with us. And Jongwoo Kim, yeah, thank you for coming here. And Kim Che-nim, thank you for coming here as well. All right. Well, today we're going to get ready for this weekend's TOEIC speaking test, as always. But actually, it's not only for this weekend, because TOEIC speaking test questions are almost about the same. Wherever you take it, whenever you take it, it's almost about the same. So I think if you get through the show together with us or with me today, your test preparation will be much better. Hyun asked, how are the COVID situation in Korea right now? Oh, okay. Well, until last week, I think it was only around 100 something. The numbers grew to 200 something, and finally we are sort of in a half lockdown situation, because the numbers are growing and now it's hitting up to 370 or something. So they're saying that it's a new trend, a circling trend of COVID, and we have to be really, really careful. We have to always wear a mask when we go somewhere, and yeah, it's getting a little bit worse than before. But yeah, we're doing fine. It's, I think, just the little circle of people who get together as a group who are getting in trouble. So yeah, I think wherever you are, you really have to be careful with COVID, right? Oh, Taeji, you're finally, yes, the test date is coming, right? It's December 13th. Yup, you'll finally take a test. And I know that your everything, pronunciation, all grammars, and the way you produce your answers, everything gotten better. So you're going to do really great on this test this time, all right? And Sean-nim, tomorrow is your first test. Well, I'll help you with it, okay? Just follow us till the end of this program, and you'll get a little bit more hang of how to deal with your test questions tomorrow. And Tadashi Akimoto, I saw your picture just a moment ago on Instagram. Yes, hello from Tokyo, and hello, good evening from Seoul. All right, so today, the title of today's show is this. Yep, it's TOEIC speaking. We're preparing for the test, yeah. It's a live show. I should have just turned this on. a moment ago. But yeah, this is the title of the show today. And thank you for joining us, everybody. And we're going to go directly into part 1. And I'll show you the passage. I'll give you some time to read through the passage while I talk a little bit more and greet more people to the show. Okay, so just look through. Actually, I'll be taking a test not this weekend, but next weekend on Saturday. And I'm not sure if I'm going to take it Saturday in Seoul or I'll be going to Jeju Island next week. No, this weekend. So I might be taking TOEIC speaking this weekend on Saturday in Jeju Island. And yes, I have taken TOEIC speaking test before in Jeju, and there's only one place you can take TOEIC speaking test in Jeju, and that is the Jeju Tourism College. Yeah, Tourism University. I think that's their English name. So that's the only one place, Jeju 관광대학, the only place that you can take TOEIC speaking test. And I've taken it before, and maybe I'll take it again this time. It's about time I take a test, yeah. So I used to take tests every single weekend, but then, it's too much money. And, every weekend, if you get hung up on that test, you cannot do anything much. So I've been skipping some tests, and now I think it's about time for me to take a test. Kwanla, hello. Let us know where you're coming from. And 성률, 문성률님, good luck to everyone. Well, thank you. Well, okay, so this is your first passage, and I gave you some time to look at it. Yeah, as always, part 1 passages, if you're ready for it, it's not so hard. But, if you don't get ready for it, you might make some mistakes. Some people might think that part 1 is really, really easy, easier than the other parts. So you guys don't take it seriously. But actually, you do have to take it seriously because this is like a foundation part for every other part, okay? So it's foundation. When you're talking, the sound, knowing how to make a better sound, how to produce better sound is everything. So you gotta have the right pronunciation, you have to have the right stress, you have to have the right intonation, and everything. The rater, the person who's giving you the score, should know or should understand what you're saying, right? So your sound has to be well organized. And this part is to show them that your sound is fine in English. Okay, so let me read this for you. Thanks for tuning in to the daily weather forecast on Channel 15. Winter is coming, so it is beginning to get extremely cold in the northern states. Please make sure to protect your patio furniture, build up your stockpile, and pull out your winter gear to get ready for the cold season. Okay, the first thing, now whoever's taking the test in a short while, the first thing you have to remember for this part is to know where to make those meaning phrases. What I mean by meaning phrases is something like this. When you say thanks for, you cannot say thanks for, but it's got to be rather thanks for tuning in to the daily weather forecast. There's got to be that meaning phrase. So thanks for, no, that's wrong. Thanks, and you have to sort of make space there for tuning into the daily weather forecast, and then there's got to be space on Channel 15. So the locations, the places where you make those, I would say space, is where the prepositions are. So you sort of stretch your sound. You would say, thanks for tuning into the daily weather forecast on Channel 15. Of course, when there's a period, you have to stop. Winter is coming. I stopped. I'm sort of stretching out my sound there because so is a connecting word, right? So it is beginning right in front of the preposition to. I'm making a pause to get extremely cold. You see how I'm stretching out my sound in the northern states, right? And the word northern could be a little bit challenging for most people out there. So it's not northern, it's northern states. Okay, guys, repeat after me. If you're in front of the computer, just don't watch me do the show. You have to repeat and follow what I say. Northern states, northern, okay? And the word extreme is where the stress is. So it's got to be extremely cold, Okay. Please make sure this is where the meaning phrase stops. To protect your patio furniture, and you stop but you do not go down. The intonation has to rise up because it's not the ending. Patio furniture, rise. Build up your stockpile. You have to keep going. It's not the end of the sentence there. And pull out your winter gear. You have to fall down there. That is where the third phrase is, right? So winter gear to get ready for the cold season. Okay, so the number one, the most important thing is, especially when you're a beginner, when you're just a beginner, make sure you show the right meaning phrases. You show them that you understand this passage. You know how to read this correctly by the grammar, okay? So I'll read this again for you. Thanks for tuning into the daily weather forecast on Channel 15. Winter is coming, so it is beginning to get extremely cold in the northern states. Please make sure to protect your patio furniture, build up your stockpile, and pull out your winter gear to get ready for the cold season. Okay, so that was our first passage, and we always see the words like, I would say weather forecast. We see this word all the time, weather forecast, right? And the word channel, it's not channel. Most Korean people would say channel, but it's channel, okay? And I told you the word extremely. The stress is quite tricky. And the word northern states. Yeah, those were some hard ones there. Now, I'm going to get some of your questions. Hyun said, this passage is quite easy. It does not have hard words. Good for you. Wow. And Hwanla, you have a test tomorrow. Yes, make sure to stick to the show to the end, okay? And Rick Sell, most beautiful woman I have ever seen. Really? Are you referring to me? Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. All right. Now, guys, if you have any questions related to the questions that we're dealing here, then make sure to type it out, okay? I'm reading each and every one of your comments. So make sure if you have any questions, try to show me what the questions are. And referring to part 1 passage, if you want to hear me pronounce any words, make sure to type out the word and I will read it for you. I will pronounce it for you guys, okay? All right, now, yes, patio. Yes, it's patio. Some people say patio, but both are fine. So you can say patio, or patio. So patio furniture or patio furniture. I hear some people say patio, yeah, but I read it as patio. Pat is where the stress is. Patio furniture, patio. Okay, Taiji? Okay, I think that was good enough for the first passage, and we're going to move on to the second passage. Guys, take a look at this second passage. I think this is not so hard. Yeah, it's about the same hardness of the first compared to the first one. So take a look at it. There are some words you guys might be familiar with. Yeah, I see a lot of words that I already told my students in my class. So take a look at it. All right, so a lot of you are taking the TOEIC speaking test this December. Wow. Actually, December is a very special month for me because December 1st is my birthday. Yeah. So December 1st is my birthday. Starting off with my birthday, December has Christmas. Well, I'm not that religious, but Christmas is always like very joyful time of the year. And there is the New Year's Eve, right? December 31st. So a lot of things are happening in December, and we have some, I think, good news coming up in December because a lot of, companies, the biotech companies are coming up with vaccines and cure for COVID-19. So finally, we're seeing the light at the end of this tunnel, right? Very exciting. Okay, so Hyun, do you think this passage is harder or maybe easier compared to the first one? Let me know. Or Taiji, do you find it hard or easy? Okay. And Taiji, remember last time I told you to make sure to make clear pronunciation, okay? when we're speaking English as a foreigner, we think that when we curl our tongue and if we make like blurry, sound, you guys think that that could sound more like fluent, right? But actually it doesn't. So make sure to make your mouth open wide up and widely opened up and just try to clearly pronounce those words, okay? So I will read this passage for you guys, and this time I'm going to read it slowly. And then the next time I read it, I'm going to read it more faster, okay? Do you want to use fresh ingredients instead of frozen or canned food for your home-cooked meals? Urban Farmer is here to save your health by providing healthy food options. You can subscribe to our grocery shopping planner and receive fresh fruit, vegetables, and meat at the comfort of your home on a daily basis. Okay, so, you know what? Actually, when I looked at it, when I was just reading it with my eyes, I thought it could be easier. But I think when I was reading it, my mouth, the muscle, the tongue was telling me, oh, you know what? This could be some like tongue twisters going on here. So it could be challenging. Guys, try reading it aloud. It could be a little bit harder than you think. Okay? The words are easy, but when you read it, they're quite challenging, quite tricky. All right, vegetable. Vegetable. Now, when you say the word veggie, the short word of vegetables is veggie. We say V-E-G-G-I-E, right? Veggie or vegetable. Veggie, G has that j sound. It's the voiced sound of sh sound. So it's G, vegetable. It's not table, it's vegetable. 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 Ve has the stress. That's why it sounds like vegetable. 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 Okay? Vegetable. Vegetable. A lot of my students would say vegetable or vegetable, some people might say, because you see that word table there, right? But it's not table. There's no stress in that word te, okay? So you have to say vegetable. Vegetable. All right? And I think the word ingredient, this is hard to recognize the stress. The stress is on re syllable, all right? So it's ingredients. Okay. And then the word canned food, tuna cans. Spam. Those are canned food. It's not canned. It's canned food. Canned food. Okay? And the word urban farmer. There are a lot of R sounds going on here. Urban farmer. And the word subscribe. Or fresh fruit. Both words are starting with F, so it's got to be fresh fruit. You see how my mouth is not closed? Fresh fruit. Yes, I'm opening up my lips. And comfort. It's not comfortable, it's comfort. Comfort of your home on a daily basis. Okay. So, I think you would mostly know what the words are, but some of the words are quite hard to pronounce. Kwan La, you're asking, do you make videos about the writing test? You know what? I'm trying to work on it, but yeah. Oh, I'm trying to work on it. Kwan La, I'm gonna get back to you regarding the writing test videos, but yeah, working on it. We're updating. We're sort of like rearranging our YouTube channel right now. So we're producing Korean content first. Korean, content for TOEIC speaking and all the English. And then we're gonna be working on the writing test. So it's not coming up right away, but we're working on it. So give us some time, okay? Oh, Che. Yes, you're right. It's not Heath, it's health. Save your health. We missed out the word L. That's a mistypo. So it's got to be L. Health. Sorry for the mistypo. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to read it again this time, but I'm going to read it faster. And when I read it faster, try to recognize how I'm reading fast, but still I'm trying to show you guys, I'm trying to indicate where the meaning phrases must stop, okay? Or where that phrases are, like how those phrases are made. I'll read it. Do you want to use fresh ingredients instead of frozen or canned food for your home cooked meals? Urban Farmer is here to save your health by providing healthy food options. You can subscribe to our grocery shopping planner and receive fresh fruit, vegetables, and meat at the comfort of your home on a daily basis. Okay, notice how I said at the comfort of your home on a daily basis. So I was sort of pushing away that meaning phrase between the word home and on and showing everyone who's listening to me that, oh, of your home is where the one meaning phrase stops, and on a daily basis is another meaning phrase. Okay, so I tried to show where the meaning phrases must be made. Okay, so I'll read it once again. Do you want to use fresh ingredients instead of frozen or canned food for your home-cooked meals? Urban Farmer is here to save your health by providing healthy food options. You can subscribe to our grocery shopping planner and receive fresh fruit, vegetables, and meat at the comfort of your home on a daily basis. Okay, so that was our second passage. Both of the passages were just moderately easy. They were not so hard or so difficult, but they were just moderate. They were not so easy, but they were okay to read. So once that preparation time starts, you got to read it aloud. And I always tell you guys, you have to read it twice. Once, the first time is more focused on the meaning phrases. And the second time, you have to focus on some words that are hard for you to read, okay? And when you spend that 45 seconds of preparation time, and when you start reading, most people just read it once, and that is totally fine. But I tell you, or my students, that you should read it twice, even during your recording time, your responding time. So first time, you read it a little slower or in a moderate speed, and the second time you read it a little faster, like how I do it, how I show you guys. Like first time I do it a little moderately, and then second time I read it more, faster, right? More quickly. So try to use up all that 45 seconds because you guys paid for every second, okay? So make sure just fulfill the time with your answer. Okay, I have somebody saying a long thing in English. Oh, no, Korean, sorry. Gwen-쌤, 안녕하세요. 2년 전에 수업 듣고 레벨 7 받았어요. So Toto says, this person took my class 2 years ago and the person got level 7. 다시 갱산해야 되는데 새 최신 강의를 찾고 있는데 영단계 최신 강의 없더라고요. 어디 가면 볼 수 있나요? Oh, so you're looking for the newest lecture, online lecture, okay? It's coming up on this channel, and the best thing is it's free. Yeah, it's going to be free. It's going to be uploaded here soon, starting next week. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned on our channel and you'll get those, lectures coming up, okay? 곧 올라올 거예요. 영단기 말고 여기에 최신 강의 무료로 올라올 테니까 제가 좀 추천드리고 싶은 방법은 저희가 유튜브 상에서 강의를 보시고 좀 스피킹 같은 경우에는 개인적으로 교정을 받는 게 중요하거든요. 그래서 교정을 받는 걸 저희가 줌 수업으로 진행을 할 거니까 영상 강의는 유튜브에서 마음껏 보시고요. 개인적인 교정을 저희한테 요청을 하셔가지고 그렇게 개인의 맞춤식으로 좀 피드백 강의를 듣도록 하세요. Alright? So what we're working on is, okay, I'm going to introduce a little bit about our, next year's plan. So I'm going to be releasing all these TOEIC speaking lectures for free on my YouTube channel, all right? So as long as you're following my channel, all these content will be created and they're going to be given free to you guys, all right? So take the lectures, study as much as you want, but what I want you guys to do is, you guys sort of like pay money for online lectures, right? I'm going to give you guys those lectures for free. What I want you guys to do is pay for feedback, okay? Speaking and writing, all those are all about feedback. When you're studying for RC and LC for TOEIC, there are answers, so you can compare your answer to the right answer and, know whether it's wrong or right. But you know what? For speaking and writing, there are so many options for the answers, and you don't know whether your answer is right or wrong, okay? So what I want you guys to do is listen to my lecture, watch the lectures for free. I'm going to give you everything, and each and every one of you need feedback. You guys need feedback on what your specific problem is. And when you correct those problems, that's when you can improve your English speaking skills or English writing skills. So you guys need feedback. So I want you guys to pay for feedback session, not for my lectures anymore. Okay, so that's what we're working on. 오늘도 today we already shot 2 lectures to upload on this channel. That's what I've been working on. So yeah, we're working on it diligently. And you know what? For foreign listeners out there, we're gonna be working on English version. So wait a little bit. We're working on the Korean version first. Okay. 그래서 한국 분들은 여기서 강의를 무료로 들으시고 피드백을 유료로 요청을 하셔서 그 부분을 들으시면은 개인에게 훨씬 더 맞는 그런 결과가 나올 수 있겠죠. 그래서 그 부분에 관한 건 앞으로 저희가 채널을 통해서 더 많이 알려드릴 테니까 다음 주부터 올라올 거예요. 지금 파트 1 강의 편집까지 마무리했고 촬영은 파트 4까지 마무리가 됐어요. 그래서 빨리빨리 올리도록 할게요. Okay? Alright. Oh, Shakespeare says, Shakespeare also at level 7. But yeah, but you got it. You got level 7, so she's thanking me, or he's thanking me. You're welcome. Great. Okay, so wow, that was a long talk for part 1. Now we're gonna move on to part 2, and I'm hiding behind the picture. Okay, so guys, you see the picture, right? Okay, so have a look at the picture and share with me some words that you want to say about the picture. Okay, what do you guys want to say? Share with me about some expressions and words. Taeji, I know you're so well. You do so well on part 2. So let me know what you would say for your answer. Okay. You know, this is a very, very oftentimes seen kind of picture on TOEIC speaking test. Like, you know, there are always people in those picture. At least there could be one person in there, or there would be so many of them in there, but around 3, 4, 5 is what you see most often. And this picture has 3 people, and in order to describe a picture, you have to talk about what they look like, you know, what they're wearing, their appearance, like what their hair color is, what they're wearing on the top, and like how short their hair is, what the color of the hair is, and also about the actions, what they are doing right now. Like, for instance, the guy on the right, he is, look at his face. He's smiling, right? He's smiling. And also, to me, he looks like the clerk, right? He's not the customer. I think he's the clerk. So he is maybe receiving the credit card. I would say he's receiving the credit card, okay? And on the left side, there are 2 people. And of course, obviously, they are the customers, right? They're the customers. And look at their faces. Both of them are smiling, right? And actually, what the woman's hand is on the counter. She is resting, R-E-S-T, resting her hand on the counter. And the guy is handing over the credit card, handing over. So notice how the word receiving and handing over always go together. Those 2 words go together. Receiving, handing over. Receiving, handing over. So one person would hand over something and one person would receive that thing. Okay, so handing over and receiving goes, both words go always the same. Okay, so I have some answers coming up here. Taeji, as always, he's the best student on the show. In the middle of the picture, there is a blue shirt. Okay, you got to leave out the word S. The S, letter S doesn't go behind the blue shirt. It's always blue shirt, not shirts. Okay, Koreans and Japanese, we say that. 셔츠, but it's shirt. It ends with a T. Sehyun, you said, I think this picture was taken in a store and there are 3 people in this picture. Good. The first thing I can see is a man giving something to another man. Good. And he is wearing a white shirt. Okay, so you're describing from the right side. Now make sure, Sehyun님, to indicate where the location is, where the person you're describing is located in the picture, okay? Because I got confused. I even got confused before you said white shirt, whether you're talking about the left person or the right person. Okay, Tubu, 변투비님, a man is handing over a credit card. Perfect. And Taeji, a credit terminal on the counter. Yes, there is a credit terminal. Oh, you can say credit card machine or card machine on the counter. Hoa Le Hong, this picture shows a clothing store and there are 3 people in this picture. On the right side, not site, it's right side D, it's D, S-I-D-E of the picture. I can see a male cashier and a cashier counter. You can say a counter. Okay, good. And Kwan La, if there are more than 4 people, do you describe them in detail? Of course. So when there are 4 people, you should describe them in detail, but you don't go one by one. This is how you do it. Like, let's say there are 4 people. Okay, and one of them, on the left side of the picture, I can see one of them and he has short hair and he's smiling. One of them is wearing a blue shirt and one of them is talking and smiling at her friends. And one of them, use the expression one of them, okay? You say there are 4 people and you pick one each. One of them is doing something, one of them has something, and one of them is doing something, and one of them has something. And this way you can describe every one of them in detail. It doesn't always have to be 4. It can be 5, 6, 7, 8, and even tons of people. You can describe so many people by using this method, by saying one of them is or some of them are. Okay? All right, and check him. This picture seems to be taken at a clothing store and there are 3 people. You're definitely correct. 세연님, on the left side of the picture, there are old couple. Actually, there is an old couple because the word couple already indicates that there are 2 people. So there is an old couple, okay? Smiling at the men. I can see some products hanging on the rack. It looks like they are having shopping time. Oh, 세연님, I would say it looks like they are shopping. Okay, they are shopping. Having shopping time is not grammatically wrong, but just say they're shopping. Okay, they are shopping. Make it simple. 예진님, on the left side, there are 2 people and they are buying some clothes and smiling. Perfect. Nothing wrong with that. And Kwan La, for example, sometimes they give a picture about a meeting or a conference. There are a bunch of people which made me a bit confused to describe all of them. Okay. Kwan La, I will try to come up with a picture that has a lot of people after this one and show you how I do it, okay? And a customer is paying by credit card, Teji, or customer is shopping with a credit card. Oh, customer is trying to pay with a credit card. Pay with. Or if you want to say cash, it's pay in cash. Pay in cash. But when it's a credit card, pay with a credit card. Pay with a credit card. 예진님, in the background of the picture, I can see some clothes and light. Overall, looks like a peaceful day. And Taeyu Chiang, this is a picture taken at a store, and the main focus of the picture is a couple talking to a man. It looks like they are talking about the item, and maybe the couple is. The couple word itself is singular, but it's talking about 2 people. The couple is paying with the credit card. 서준, hello. Yeah, he's my student. Kwan La, okay. Thank you. All right. Okay, so I think we've got the overall idea of what to talk about this picture. Okay. Now, let me look up some pictures here. Office, meeting, people. All right, there are tons of pictures here, and I'm going to describe one of them. I want to have one with a lot of picture. Okay. All right, so after I describe this picture here on the screen, I'm going to move on to this one where there are tons of people here. It's not only 3 or 4, it's so many people here in this picture. And I will describe this one for Kwan La, okay? So first, let me describe this picture. When you're describing a picture with up to 3 people, you have to describe every single detail of the person. You have to talk about where the location of the person is, what their outer looks is, and what they are doing. Okay? And when you have time remaining, you can talk about the other things, like the counter and the clothes displayed back there and the lights. Okay? So this is a picture taken at a clothing store, and there are 3 people in this picture. On the right side of the picture, I can see a man, and he looks like a clerk. He has short hair, and he's wearing a white shirt. He is standing behind a counter and receiving a credit card. On the left side of the picture, there are two people and they look like a couple. One of them has blonde hair and she's wearing a light pink dress or a shirt, and she is resting her hand on the counter. And one of them has gray hair and he is smiling and handing over the credit card. Between them, there is a counter, and in the background of the picture, I can see lots of clothes and maybe they're happy. Okay? So in the end, I said maybe they are happy because everyone is smiling, right? Everyone's smiling. There's no reason why they cannot be happy, right? So as simple as that, I just said maybe they're happy or maybe they're having a good time. Kato. In the middle of the picture, there are three people. Or maybe they are a couple on the... Okay. So remember how I did it? I sort of split everything and I went one by one. First, I talked about somebody on the right side. I talked about the location first. And then I talked about these two people on the left. But then I went one of them. I went into more detail. I said one of them has blonde hair and she is resting her hand. And one of them has silver hair. Obviously, it's the guy, right? And he is handing over. So I talked about the location. The most important thing, I talked about what they're wearing. And I talked about what they're doing. And because I had some time remaining, I talked about the counter and I talked about the clothes. All right, so this picture had three people, so that was that. And Kwan La was asking me what I'm gonna do with picture with lots of people. All right, I have this picture here. I wonder if it's gonna show. I'm trying to pick one with as many people as possible. All right. Okay, well, let's go with this one. Can you guys see? Okay, hold on. Hold on. How am I gonna do this? Hold on. I'm gonna make this size smaller. And okay. I wonder if it's gonna show, but I'm gonna try. For Kwanla, for the sake of Kwanla, okay. Hold on. Can you guys see? So it's this picture. Yeah, Kwanla, I think you were talking about something like this, right? So there are so many people here, and like it's not only one or two or three people. It's like 1, 2, 3. It's, yeah, I think it's 7 people, right? And sometimes there are even more. And if I have to describe this picture, I will split this picture into 3. So first I will split it into left, middle, and right. And I will describe what those people are doing on the left side, what the guy in the middle is doing, and what people are doing on the right side. Okay? So that's how I'm gonna do it. So I'll show you the answer for this one. Remember how I told you to use one of them, some of them, that expression there? Kwanla, listen carefully. So I will say, this is a picture taken in a meeting room, and there are many people in this picture. All of them are sitting around the table. On the left side of the picture, I can see 2 people, and one of them is wearing a black jacket and she is resting her arms on the table, and one of them has a beard and he is looking at something. In the middle of the picture, I can see a guy and he's wearing a blue tie. He is using a computer and looking at the screen. And on the right side of the picture, there are 3 people, and one of them is wearing a gray jacket. I can see her back. One of them is wearing a black jacket and she is listening to someone, and one of them is wearing a beige cardigan or white shirt and she is just, resting. And maybe they're busy. Maybe they're having a meeting. Okay? So, yeah, I literally talked about every one of them in this picture. Some of them I talked about their looks. Some of them I talked about what they are doing. And I even said I can see this woman's back. I can see her back, right? And because I didn't have time, I wasn't able to talk about these things in front of them, or these things in the background, because I didn't have time. I just didn't have time. The most important thing is to talk about the people, the human, and what they are doing. Okay, so some verbs I used were they are sitting around the table, right? And she is resting her arms on the table. He is using, right, and looking at. And I said, what did I say? She's listening to, and I think she said she's resting. I wanted to say she's resting her hands, but she's resting, okay? I don't think she's doing anything. And I said they're having a meeting, okay? So that's how you do it, okay? So even though you have so many people, when you say one of them, or when you say some of them, you know, it's possible to describe a picture. Let me show you something like this. Like literally when there are tons of people, you know, at the beach, people at the beach. I love technology. Okay. No. Okay, so there is this picture here. Okay, so I Googled a picture and I said people at the beach. And this is what I got. Okay. Now, you would think it's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to describe this picture, right? But actually, it is possible because, you know, even if you haven't been to a beach, you would know what these people might be doing. You know, they're swimming, they're playing in the water. And, you know, people here on this side, on the left side, they're sitting under parasols and they're just lying down. They're enjoying the sun. They're tanning, right? And there's water. You can see the waves and people are, you know, playing in the water. And I think, yeah, I think you could possibly describe this picture as well. I know it's a crazy picture. It is a crazy picture. But I'll show you guys how you do it, okay? This is a great tip from Gwen. This is the great tip from Gwen. So listen up, guys. Now, this is a picture taken at a beach, and there are many people in this picture. On the right side of the picture, there is water, and there are many people in the water. Some of them are swimming, and some of them are just standing, and some of them are playing in the water, and some of them are enjoying the waves. I can see lots of waves among them, waves, okay? And on the left side of the picture, there is the sand, and there are many people in this area. Some of them are sitting under parasols, some of them are standing by the shore, and some of them are enjoying the sun. And I can see lots of colorful parasols, and maybe people are having a good time. Okay, so you guys cannot deny that I talked about almost everybody in this picture, right? I talked about almost everybody in this picture. All I did was I split this picture into half, right? I split it into this half here, and I talked about people in the water there, and I talked about people on the sandy beach, okay? So that's how you do it. The key is one of them, some of them, or you could say most of them, or even all of them. Yeah, all of them. Remember how I said all of them are sitting around a table. All of them are sitting around a table. Okay? Easily, you can easily describe a picture with tons of people, although it might seem crazy. You're right, Hyun. Okay, so that was part 2. Right. Any questions about part 2? You're welcome to say any questions. Gosh, it's so hot in here. Okay. You know, when I teach my students English, I tell them, don't go complicated. You don't have to get all complicated and crazy to talk in English. Just use simple ways. Find the simplest ways to express your thoughts, whatever you want to say in English. You don't have to go and get complicated. Trust me. Trust me. Okay? All right, so we're going to move on to part 3 because you guys seem to not have any questions. Phew. Kwanla. That's your reaction. Okay. Part 3 is also very hard for some people. Well, people say part 3 is the hardest part. Let's say, imagine that an English newspaper company is doing research to write an article and they want to collect information about social events. Okay, so we're talking about social events. And when my students first saw the word social events, they're like, what is social events? Okay, well, social events are things like that. Like Friday night, when we didn't have COVID, we used to hang out with friends after work. We used to hang out with coworkers after work, and we would drink and we would party and we would, become friends, get to know each other. That is social event. Okay? 안녕하세요. H-A-I. All right. I think we're going to do the show until 10 p.m. today. We have one more hour to go. 1시간 더 할 것 같아요. 1시간. Okay, so social events is, in Korean, it's 회식. And this is something that you get along with your friends and coworkers. So that is called social events. Sometimes parties can be considered as social events. Social means like you're socializing, you're being friends and you're just hanging out with people. There could be an objective, but sometimes you just hang out to have fun, to just become closer, right? And ta-da! This is the first question. So what kind of social event have you participated in recently and where was it held? All right, so social event. Now, we don't have this that often anymore because thanks to COVID-19, we are not supposed to have a big gathering, right? In Korea, you have to have a gathering less than 10 people. And my brother actually recently got married. And normally, people would have around 200 or 300 people invited to the wedding ceremony, and it would be sort of a big party, right? But we had to limit the guests under 100. We were only able to invite 50 people from the bride side and 50 people from the groom, my brother's side. So it was a very small wedding ceremony compared to just normal one, okay? So Hyun, Teacher's Day is not a social event, okay? Teacher's Day is just a special day. Social event, you have to get together with people and you have to gather, you have to mingle, you have to talk with other people, socialize, you make friends, you get to know each other. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Yeah, just in case. All right, so social event is some kind of a gathering. It could be with people you're familiar with, your close friends, or it could be somebody that you don't know, but now you might become friends with, okay? So social event is a gathering. It's not just a day, okay? Or maybe on Teacher's Day, teachers could get together with their students and maybe they would have some like a tea time. That could be a social gathering or social event, okay? So what kind of social event have you participated in recently and where was it held? I would say, Taeji said, I participated in cleaning event recently and it was held in my local area. That could be a social event. You gathered with people and you were like cleaning some area. I picked up trash, right? And I made friends and that could be a social event. Yes. COVID monkeys. Okay, actually, I would say something like this. I would just tell you, I told you about my brother's wedding, right? Recently, my brother got married and it was a small wedding ceremony and we had about 100 people invited and we had a gathering, we had a ceremony together and it was fun. It was held at a wedding hall and it lasted for about 3 hours. Okay, so I said something about the wedding ceremony, blah, 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 and I said it was held at the wedding hall. So I eventually answered both of the questions. So I said it was a wedding ceremony and it was held at the wedding hall. So I answered both questions. Okay, and the second one, is this one. How many hours did you spend at the recent social event? And what kind of food was served? Okay, so it's a social event. I sort of said it was 3 hours, but I'm going to have to say it again because this is a question. And what kind of food? You know, in Korea, when you go to a wedding ceremony, you eat food. Okay, well, in most countries, you guys eat food. It's a party, right? So it was a buffet, actually. I would say, hold on. Hadi Sem said, I participated in English conversation club or gathering meeting recently because I want to improve my English skill. Okay, it seems like your English is already good. Hyun, last month my school organized Mid-Autumn Festival for all of the students. Everybody could join and we could have the chance to do many things together, such as make. Okay, now Hyun, I'm gonna tell you one important thing about your answer. You're using the proverb could. C-O-U-L-D. But actually, did you know that could is not the past tense of can? Okay, when you want to use the word can and make it into a past tense, you have to say was able to, or you have to say were able to. Okay, so in this case, you have to say everybody was able to join and we were able to have a chance. So it's was able to or were able to. Taeyu Chiang, I participated in my brother's birthday party. Oh, that is a social event. And the party was held in a famous restaurant and we all had a good time. I really like your answer, Chiang. Good job. Okay, so moving on to my second answer. I'm going to move on to my second answer and it's like this. I spent, I think, 3 hours at my brother's wedding ceremony and there was lots of food. It was a buffet, so I was able to eat many kinds of food, such as Chinese food, Korean food, and so on. Okay, so I did say it was 3 hours. I said I spent 3 hours. I spent, and the object of the verb spent is the 3 hours. So I spent 3 hours at my brother's wedding ceremony and we ate many kinds of food such as Korean food, Chinese food, there was Spanish, all kinds of food, Spanish food or Mexican food, Mexican food and Italian food. I think there was even steak, so that's Western food, right? There were so many different kinds of food. Okay, so it was a short wedding ceremony. All right, and I'm going to move on to the last question. The question is, if you plan to hold a social event, what kind of event do you want to have? All right, if you plan to hold a social event, what kind of event do you want to have? Now, I want you guys to think about what kind of party you guys want to have, okay? I think that is the easiest concept of understanding the word social event, okay? Social event is having a gathering with lots of people. So basically, I think you guys just can relate it to as party. Any kind of small or big party could be social event, okay? So it's December. Next month is December, and I told you guys that it's going to be my birthday. So I think I'm going to have a birthday party. Yeah, I'm going to hold a birthday party if we're allowed. Yeah, we can have less than 10 people kind of gathering with friends. So yeah, I would have a small birthday party. Or, there's a Christmas, and even if you don't go to churches in Korea, you enjoy Christmas. So I might have a small Christmas party with my friends. Yes. Or we would have year-end party. A lot of Koreans, we have year-end party. So we say goodbye to 2020 and we say hello to 2021, the new year, and hopefully COVID goes away. Okay, so if I plan to hold a social event, I want to hold a party. I want to hold a birthday party. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? What kind of social event do you want to have? You could say either I want to hold a party or you could say I want to have a party. You don't say I want to open a party, okay? You don't say I want to open. It's hold or have. Helen, I think it would be a gardening day in which people can have a chance to get together and plant more flowers or trees. That is so wonderful. Yeah. Gardening. Actually, nowadays I'm really into gardening. Okay, I don't have a garden, but I'm planting little plants in my cups actually. I have so many cups, and I'm planting some little plants like orchids, or I don't know, I don't even know the names of those plants, but my friends are giving them to me, and I'm like watering them once or twice or even 3 times a week because it's really dry nowadays, and I really love it. You know, there's a term saying, I have a green thumb. I have a green thumb. Do you know what that is? I have a green thumb. I'll show you guys. Okay. All right, so when you say you have a green thumb, it's something like this. You have a green thumb. It means you're good at gardening. You're good at planting trees, and you're very good at taking care of plants. So I want to have a green thumb. I want to have a green thumb, okay? So I want to be a good gardener, okay? All right, Taeyu Cheng said, I will hold a pre-wedding party in the future. Yeah, it's like a bachelor's party, right? And I think that there will be a happy and exciting, it will be a happy and exciting party night. Oh, good, good. Very well done. Yeah, that is a kind of a social event, okay? All right, so it's called a pre-wedding party or what? Well, you know what? The concept of pre-wedding is actually bachelor's party. For guys, it's bachelor's party, and for girls, it's the bachelorette party, and bachelorette party. So it's the last night of being a bachelor or bachelorette. So that's what it's called. We don't really, in English, it's not a pre-wedding party. You would have to say, there's a wedding rehearsal in Western culture. In America, before the wedding, there's something called wedding rehearsal. You do something very similar, but you have like a dinner party together with the participants, and you sort of like, you know, celebrate the wedding before the wedding day. So it's called a wedding rehearsal dinner, okay? And Taeji, if I plan to hold a special event, I want to have cleaning event. You're really interested in cleaning. Recently, plastic dust and masks have fallen on the street. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah. I bought some roses last week and it died. Oh, you bought a rose plant? It died? It's a very sad story. But if you just bought a bunch of roses, then of course they're going to dry out, right? And Yui, I'd love to have a barbecue party with my friends. Oh, sounds good, because we haven't had one for a couple months. I know. I want to go there. Yui, invite me. Sehan said, I want to hold Christmas party with my friends because Christmas is coming, so I'm going to rent a place for the party and prepare various kinds of foods and drinks. Good. This is what a social event is, okay? So everyone, you have the right concept now. So I'm going to give you my answer. If I plan to hold a social event, I want to hold a birthday party because actually in December there's my birthday, and I want to have a small birthday party with my loved ones. I want to invite my friends and maybe some of my family members, and I want to have a party with lots of food and drinks. We're going to drink wine, we're going to talk about this year, and we're going to have some great time together. And I want to become closer with my friends and family members. Okay, so I said I'm gonna have a birthday party, and I said what we're gonna eat and what we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about, and I said what I want to do. I want to become closer. So this is the whole purpose of having a social event, to become closer with other people. I want to become closer with my friends, or I want to make more friends. I want to make more acquaintances, okay? I want to make more friends. Okie dokie. Now we need to move on to part. Hi Dad. Guys, Ivan Inuli is my dad. Hi. I'm also watching. Oh, thank you, Dad. Thank you very much for watching my show. Okay, so this is the chart for part 4 tonight. Okay. So it's a very normal chart, but nowadays in Korea, we see a chart with 2-day schedule. All right, so there's the first day and there's also the second day. So you have to be sure, make sure what time each event is, because or on which day. because there's 9 a.m., something that's held at 9 a.m. on the first day, and there's also something that's held at 9 a.m. on the second day, right? So you got to be careful on what you're talking about. Okay. All right, and here we go. Where is it? On TK Lee says, tomorrow is my first day of TOEIC speaking test. First test, okay, don't get too nervous. Don't get too nervous and try to relax and try to do your best, okay? Hyun, I really love Christmas festival, especially snow, but in Vietnam it doesn't snow. Well, in Korea it snows, right? Quan La, Hyun, if it doesn't snow in Vietnam, it's hard to travel nowadays. Yeah, well, you have to watch some shows. Quan La, I want to hold a party together, my college friends. We haven't seen each other for years. That is a very good idea. Yeah, that's a very good social event you can plan out. All right, guys, I see some problem with the numbers of time here. 10:30, and then there's 10 a.m. I think there has been some mistake here. Yeah, a lot of typo. Anyway, I don't think it's going to harm it much, but it's going to cause any harm, but let's see. Okay, so here goes the first question, everyone. Here goes the first question. When and where will the seminar take place? When and where will the seminar take place? This is the first question, a very easy question. When and where will the seminar take place? Share your answers with us. Share your answers. When and where will the seminar take place? Okay? It's not a hard question. It's a very easy question. It's an easy peasy question, right? You can even assume, you can even think, you can even like presume that they're going to be asking this question. When and where? When and where? When and where? So guys, type in your answers. It's really important to be grammatically correct for this part. So when and where will the seminar take place? And try to make it very precise, grammar-wise. Okay? When and where? When and where? The information is on the top. We know the information, the answer is on the top. It's Bridgestone Convention Center, November 9 to 10. But you have to be grammatically correct. You have to know how to make up your sentence. Yes. So show me. When and where? Oh, Che. The seminar will take place at Bridgestone Convention Center. It will be held on November 9th and 10th. Okay, the seminar will be held in Bridgestone Convention Center on November 9th and 10th. Yejin-nim, it's 2 days. And Chang, the seminar will be held in the Convention Center it's from November 9th to 10th, if you want to say that. The seminar will take place at Bridgestone Convention Center on November 9th and November 10th. The seminar will be held at the Bridgestone Convention Center from November 9th to 10th. I will say Sehyun. The very last answer by Sehan is the most correct one. Taeji, the seminar will be held for 2 days, on Monday, November 9th, and on Tuesday, November 10th, at Bridgestone Convention Center. Your answer is totally fine, Taeji. And Hua Luhong, let me see, this annual Developing Technology Seminar is going to be held on November 9th to 10th. Okay, will be held on November 9th and 10th. In Bridgestone Convention Center. So if you want to mention from to, you do not use the preposition on. You say it will be held from November 9th to November 10th. Okay? Or it will be held on November 9th and November 10th. You can say this too. Hidi said the seminar will be held on November 9th. No. From November 9th to 10th at Bridgestone Convention Center. Okay? So from and to, they go together. From and to, they go together. Okay? All right. So Kwan La, take it easy. I'll see you later. All right? I'll be here next month. Don't worry. Don't get too nervous. Oh, Mium. Oh, November 20th, I'm taking the test. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. You have some time there, okay? All right, so I think we got the answer for the first one. Now we're going to move on to the second question. Guys, the second question says, I was told that the seminar will start early in the morning for both days. Will I miss any sessions if I arrive before 9 a.m. on both days? I was told that the seminar will start early in the morning for both days. Will I miss any sessions if I arrive before 9 a.m. on both days? I was told that the seminar will start early in the morning for both days. Will I miss any session if I don't arrive before 9 a.m. on both days? Okay, so how are you going to answer this? Show me what you got. Show me how you will explain the situation, okay? We know that it's no, but it's very important that you can explain the whole situation. Okay. So while you guys are typing your answers, again, I'm going to tell you about my big plan on the YouTube channel. We're going to produce the Korean lectures and English lectures all free. We're going to share what you can do and how you can achieve your goal levels on this channel for free. But if you want a correction, like one-on-one correction from me or from my, like teachers at my lab, then you need to apply for like a short course. It's going to be like a 1 or 2 or 3 day short session courses where we give you like free feedback, one-on-one feedback, where you can fix your pronunciation problems, fix or get to know what your mistakes are rapidly happening, like mostly happening for grammatical wise. And we give you tips on how to improve your English speaking skills, okay? So whatever you want to learn, it's going to be all here on our channel in Korean first, and then we're going to update it with English later, and then you can apply for one-on-one feedback. And that's what you would have to pay for. But all my lectures will be free on this channel, okay? 한국말로 말씀을 드리자면 여러분들께서 앞으로 유튜브 채널에서 토익 스피킹 관련해서 모든 학습 영상들은 이제 다 보실 수 있을 거예요. 제가 수업에서 하는 영상들 이런 모든 것들을 여기서 다 공개할 예정이고요. 공부는 따로 하시고 스피킹 같은 경우에는 여러분들께서 피드백이 있어야지 내가 발음이 제대로 되고 있는지 아니면 틀리는 게 없는지 문법적으로 뭘 실수하는지 이런 걸 알 수 있기 때문에 그런 부분에 대해서는 1대1 피드백 코스를 신청을 하셔서 하시면 되거든요. 근데 이제 수업의 내용은 여기에서 다 무료로 보실 수 있다라는 점, 관련한 사항은 저희가 아래 글에다가 남겨드릴 테니까 참고하셔서 학습에 도움을 많이 받도록 하세요. 아시겠죠? 네, 스피킹은 배운다기보다는 본인의 문제점을 고치는 게 포인트니까 그 문제점을 좀 빨리 고치시면 훨씬 더 성적을 빨리 받기 유리하거든요. Okay. Alright, I see some answers coming up. Yui said, no, if you arrive before 9 a.m., you won't miss any sessions, so don't worry about it. If you don't arrive, okay, Yui, so you have to say, no, if you don't arrive before 9 a.m., you won't miss anything, okay? Good. And the seminar will start at 9 a.m. for both days, so please come then. Oh, all right, so Taeji, it's really perfectly right to say the seminar will start at 9 a.m. for both days. So you won't miss anything. I think would be much better, all right? So the seminar will start at 9 a.m. for both days, so you won't miss anything. You won't, W-O-N, apostrophe T, you won't miss anything. Okay? So that's how you could say it. Good. All right. So obviously, it will start at 9 a.m. for both days, so you would not miss anything. You won't miss anything is the answer. Good. Now, here goes the last question. Could you please tell me about all the sessions which I could learn about the new technologies? Could you please tell me about all the sessions which I could learn about the new technologies? New technologies. All right. And we see 2 related topics, right? Okay. So it's a little hard because you got to type in so many words there right now for this last question, but try a little bit. Okay, try a little bit. I'm waiting. I have all the time you need. I can give you all the time you need. Hua Lin Hong said, I'm afraid not. Oh, that's a very good way to approach. It's a very softer way of saying no. So I'm afraid not. At 9 a.m., this seminar will begin, so you won't miss any seminars scheduled before 9 a.m. Okay, we're going to fix a little bit. Hong, This seminar will begin at 9 a.m. on both days. This is what Taiji said exactly, okay? For both days, we start at 9. So you won't miss any sessions. You won't miss any sessions. You won't miss any sessions if you don't arrive before 9 a.m. Or you could say there are no sessions before 9. There are no sessions. There's nothing before 9. Taeyu, Chiang, the talks in both days, on both days. The preposition has to be on. On both days will start at 9, so you won't miss any session. All right, more exact way, a more correct way of saying this would be what Taeji said. Okay, the seminar will start at 9 a.m. for both days, or the seminar will start at 9 a.m. on both days. You could use both the preposition for or preposition on. The seminar will start at 9 a.m. for both days, or the seminar will start at 9 a.m. on both days. Great. Okay, TK Lee. Ooh, you're the first one to upload the answer for the last one. Good. Now, there are 2 sessions about new technologies. Great start. First of all, from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Okay, now you're missing out a whole chunk there. From 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the first day. On the first day. All right, Amber Wang. You're right about Amber Wang, but there will be a session on developing new technologies led by Amber Wang. You missed out the whole chunk there. And second, on the second day, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., there will be a session on benefits of using new technologies led by Emma Evans. That's how you read it. There will be a session on benefits of using new technologies led by Emma Evans. Okay? So you understand what I said? TK Lee, you're missing out a whole chunk of what you have to explain. Okay? So, and make sure you say on the first day, on the second day. On the first day from 10 a.m. and on the second day at 9 a.m. Okay, anybody got the answer for the last question? Anybody? Anybody got the answer for the last question? Damn it. Gosh. Oh. Yeah, I see what your problem is. If you say everything, you go over 30 seconds. But that is what they want to hear. They want you to say those 2 lines, all the details in those 2 lines within 30 seconds. They want you to be that much fluent. Yeah. So if you leave out those information, you will get less points, which means that you'll get lower level. Okay? 세연님, there are 2 scheduled sessions. Okay. First, Amber Wang will give a speech, not give a speech, it's give a speech about developing new technologies on the first day. Good. And second, benefits. Ooh, you have to say there will be a speech on. There will be a speech about benefits of using new technologies given by Emma Evans on the last day. Okay? So you got the first one right. The second one has to start with there will be. Okay? 예진님, there are 2 scheduled sessions. First day, on the first day, on the first day, there will be a session on developing new technologies by or led by, both are fine, Amber Wang at 10. And on the second day, make sure to remember the preposition on. On the second day, Emma Evans will give a speech, will give a speech on benefits of using new technologies at 9. Okay? Will give a speech. It's always give. Give a speech, give a presentation, or lead a session. Lead, L-E-A-D, lead a session. Teji, there are 2. Perfect. I love short start. I know, you don't have to give a whole lot. There are 2. On the first day, please, Teiji, it has to be on the first day. On day 1 is fine, but normally you would have to say on the first day, okay? From 10 to 11:30, there will be a session. There will be a session on developing new technology. And Amber Wang, on the second day, from 9 to 10:30, Emma Evans will give a speech on benefits of using technology. So you got something missed out there. Those some things are missed out there. Yui, we have 2 kinds of sessions related to new technologies. One of them will be led by. Want to be led by. And you're not giving the topics, the core topics, the name of those sessions. Yui, you have to give the names. There are 2. First, 이응미음. There are 2. First, at 10 a.m., the developing new. The session on, or session about developing new technologies will be held by Amber Wang on the first day. And second, Emma Evans will talk about the benefits of using new technologies at 9 a.m. on the second day. Okay, nobody's got it right. Okay, let me give it to you. All right, can I have the keyboard? PD님, can I have the keyboard? I can't? Okay. Oh, damn. I can't do it. I can't type it here. But, okay, I will say it slowly so everybody can understand. And I'm going to show you how I do everything in 30 seconds. TK, you don't have to be so fast to say everything in 30 seconds. Watch me. Okay. There are 2. On the first day at 10 a.m., there will be a speech on developing new technologies given by Amber Wang. On the second day at 9 a.m., Emma Evans will lead a session on benefits of using new technologies. Both of them should be helpful. Okay? I said it very slowly, and I had time. Okay. I'm going to type it. I'm going to use my phone to type and show you guys the answer. Okay. Here I go. Very slowly, and I had time. Okay. Let me type. So, there, I'm typing, guys, will be a session on, or it could be about, something, led by, let's say, Gwen Lee. This is the first way of saying. There will be a session on something, led by Gwen Lee. And you could say, Gwen Lee will lead a session on, you could say on or about, both are fine, but I prefer to use on. About something, on something. Okay? You can also say this. This is the case when you use the word session, okay? If you want to use the word speech, you can say Gwen, no, I'm going to start with there, will be a speech on, or I'm just going to say on something given by Gwen Lee. Okay, so if you want to use the word speech, it has to go with the verb give or given. And if I say Gwen Lee will, I'm typing my lecture. I'm literally typing things to teach you guys something. Give a speech on something. Okay. Okay. All right. This is how you do it, guys. Got it? I hope you got it. Okay. So, because of these 4, formulas, when I read some of your answers, I told you guys are missing out some things here. You guys are missing out some things, okay? So when you see a topic, it doesn't matter whether you say there will be a session or there will be a speech, okay? But no, you don't have to mention both hours. You don't have to say both hours. You don't have to necessarily say from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. You can just say at 9 or at 9 a.m. That's fine. Yeah. I'll show you again my answer. 제 답변 다시 보여드릴게요. I'll say my answer once again. There are two. On the first day, at 10 a.m., Amber Wang will lead a session on developing new technologies. On the second day, at 9 a.m., there will be a speech on benefits of using new technologies given by Emma Evans. Okay, I still had time remaining. You don't have to say from to, no. So TK, you said there are two. On the first day at 10 a.m., there will be a speech on perfect. No, oh yeah, you're right. On the second day at 9 a.m., Emma will lead a session on. TK, you got it right. Yeah, you got them all right. Okay, and you have to practice so that you can say everything within 30 seconds. Okay, that is your task. I hope you could benefit from my typing. Gwen Lee there, that is me. Yeah, I typed in those 4 sentences. Take note of it. Good. Now we're going to move on to part 5. Okay. All right. So that's the phone you guys are going to be looking at. It's an older version, actually, when you go take the test. It's going to be very old-looking phone there, but there's going to be a message. So, guys, listen to the message. Ready? Okay? Hello, this is Amanda Geiger, the director of the HR department. As you know, we operate a cafeteria on the first floor of our company building for the employees. It is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. so that many employees can take advantage of it while they work in the office. Last month, we changed the supplier to provide better quality food at the cafeteria. However, unlike our expectations, there have been an increasing number of complaints about the quality of food since then. To gather more information about the problem, we have done a survey among the employees last week. Unfortunately, not many answers have been gathered, and we need more feedback from the participants to sort out what the exact problem is, so we need to have more employees participate in the survey. Now, since you're my assistant, I want you to think about this matter and share your ideas with me at extension 20. Thanks. Bye. Okay, so that was the situation. Amanda is working at the HR. She's working in the HR department, and there's a new employee cafeteria. No, actually, they have a cafeteria already. And they changed the food supplier, right? They changed the supplier to improve the quality, but actually there have been more complaints. They changed the supplier, but people are complaining more. So they're trying to get feedback to know what the reason is. They're doing survey. But not many participants. We do not have many participants here. So what are we going to do? We need more people to answer to the survey questions. We need more participants, is what she is basically saying. Okay, so how to gather more participants? Let me know. Okay. So for this part, I always tell you guys that it is very important to memorize the template. You know, I realized when Tony was here last time, I'm saying American English. So when I'm saying American English, it's more of, I have to say the word template. But when Tony was using the British accent, the British English, he kept on saying template. Yeah. So I guess there's a difference there. But anyway, template, you have to memorize it. That's the thing. The most important, the hardest part of it is you have to memorize the template. Okay? So this is the template that we're using, and the gray part is where the change has to be made. And the first step 2 is where you would summarize what you heard. So, you heard that she's working in the HR, there's a company cafeteria, you change the supplier, but people are complaining and you don't know what the reason is. So you're doing the survey, but people are not participating, is what you have to summarize, okay? And later, of course, you would have to propose some solutions, right? That's the title of this part. You have to propose solutions. Okay, so if you guys are ready, please type in what you think. You can say, oh, as Haeyeon said, hi, this is Haeyeon returning your call. I just listened to your message and I understand that we are looking for a way to gather more employee feedback about our cafeteria supplier. Okay, that is perfectly good. Okay, but you wouldn't have, the word is employee feedback, because feedback cannot be used as plural. That is a uncountable noun. So you would have to say employee feedback without an S, no S. Good job. So Seon did summarize the situation well. Okay, anybody else? You guys working? Hyun, I think the problem is that you want to receive more feedback about the quality of food. Wow, that is very good. And how can you attract more participants to come? How you can, not how can you, because you're making it into a sentence. You're not asking the person, right? So you're making an indirect question. So you would have to say how you can attract more participants to come. I just got home. I was watching the show on a train. Oh, no problem. Tadashi, we still have 2 more parts to go. Feel free to participate with your thumbs, okay? All right, so I think you guys are understanding what to do. You have to summarize. You have to summarize what you heard. So yeah, you're working in the HR. You're, overlooking the cafeteria. People are complaining. And oh, I want to tell you guys, especially Seon, you don't have to make long, lengthy sentences, okay? Your sentence is actually very long. You can say very short sentences. If I were you guys, I would say something like, hey, this is Gwen. I heard that you're working in the HR and there's a company cafeteria. We changed the supplier, but people are complaining about the quality. Okay? So like this, I'm saying about like 4 to 5 sentences, right? You don't have to say everything in one sentence. You don't have to put everything in one sentence. Don't worry, okay? Say your sentence is a little too long. Okay, so that is the situation. Good. So what's the suggestions that you would like to say? What are some solutions, guys? People don't participate in the survey. Do you guys like to participate in the survey? Well, I don't, because, I don't see any benefits that I get out from it. So I normally don't participate in the survey. But, if there is something out of it, then I would participate. So Taeji said, I think it's a good idea to ask about complaints from employees directly. Oh, okay. So it's not directory, it's directly. It's DIRECTLY, directly. Maybe you can get valuable opinions. Oh, I like that expression, valuable opinions. That's such a great expression. Moreover, why don't you check the situation with the supplier? Why don't you check or talk to the supplier about this problem? Taeji, every time you are giving very practical solutions. I think that's because you're like working and you're always dealing with the customers and clients. You know what to do. Those 2 are very practical. So why don't you ask the employees directly? Is your first answer. Why don't you ask your employees directly? And why don't you check with the supplier about the situation? Why don't you double check with the supplier about the food quality? Okay? Wow, I really like Taeji's answer. Iyoung-Mil, hello, this is Yuma. Okay, and thank you for your call. You said you want to get more feedbacks. I've been thinking about it and I have an idea. You should give a coupon if customers answer questionnaires. Okay, good. But they're not customers, they're employees. This is company, okay? So maybe give free food vouchers, okay? Tadashi, I think it would be good to offer free drinks to employees willing to participate in a survey. They could be happy with drink, not food, okay? And also you could put copies of the survey form at the cafeteria. They should have something to say, especially right after eating there. Oh, that is a very good idea too, Tadashi. Like after you have very bad food, you want to talk about it. You want to complain. That's like the right moment to get the feedback. They would say, "Ick, the soup was cold," or "Ick, the rice wasn't well cooked." Yeah, that's a very good idea. Okay. Why don't you put the survey sheet on the cafeteria table so they could, write the complaints right away? Good, great idea. Well done. All right. And Yuma-님, it's very important to talk for 1 minute, and that is the reason why I am asking you guys to use this template. Okay. Some solutions to this problem. I think you should give more discount to everyone. We can make assumptions that if you help us to do the survey, we can give you some, to our actually, but this is not a store, Hyun. This is like a company cafeteria. In the company, there's a cafeteria, and sometimes the employees can eat food for free, or sometimes they pay like very, very low price. Yeah, this is the situation. Hi, Brenda. Okay, and Pyeontubu, why don't we give a free coffee coupon to the person? Yeah, I think that works. Like in Korea, Starbucks coffee coupon or coffee vouchers would work for this kind of thing. Yeah, people love Starbucks, right? Nobody eats Starbucks, right? Even if you don't drink coffee, you can eat something there or you can drink tea there. So yeah, I think coffee coupon or Starbucks coupon would help. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how I use my template to organize and nicely arrange my answer for this situation. Listen up. Hi, this is Gwen. Well, I heard that you are working in the HR and you are looking after the company cafeteria. And because we wanted to improve the quality, we recently changed the supplier. However, there's a problem because employees are complaining about the quality of the food. So you'd like to get some help with this matter. And you need to get some feedback, more feedback. Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear about the situation. However, I'm happy to say that there's a way to help you out. And after looking into the situation, I came up with the following suggestions. Well, first of all, I think it is a good idea to ask the employees directly about the problem of the food. That should be even better. And moreover, why don't we put some survey forms on the cafeteria table so they could write right after they eat? That should be helpful. Well, those are my suggestions. And if you need more help, feel free to call me back anytime. Bye. Okay? So this is how you could provide good answer for part 5. You have to keep on topping. Oh, Yuma, you're using Tony's template. That's why. That's fine. Yeah. But make sure you talk for 1 minute, okay? It's fine to use Tony's template. That's perfect. Okay, everybody has different template. I'm not forcing you guys to use mine. I'm just saying that this is my template, okay? You're welcome. You're free to use it. And Hiti-sem, first of all, wholesome events to make people interested so you can serve free coffee and some snacks at the event. It would be a good chance to get their opinion. Well, yeah, that could be a good chance. You could have a small meeting and give free drinks, coffee, snacks, and ask them about, what they think about the food. That's good. Chuan, hello. Okay, so that's how you could talk for 1 minute. You always have to sort of rely on the template so you don't get lost and you have a well-organized 1 minute answer. That's how you do it, okay? All right. And this is the last question. Let me have a sip of my tea here. Part 6. I love part 6. Okay, this is a time where you could talk very, very freely. It's like having a white canvas and you can draw whatever you want. Part 6 is like that to me. So, what are some advantages for high school students to be acting in a theater performance? Acting. Okay. So now all of a sudden they're asking you about, high school students. What do you think about them performing at a theater or, being in a play at a school? I used to be in this, play when I was in school. I was a tree. And sometimes I was like a cat. I played roles where I didn't have to speak much because, when I was in elementary school, my English wasn't so good. I went to America when I was 7, so I slowly picked up the language. And I think I was about like 5th or 6th grade when I was actually talking in English, like fluently. So when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, when I participated in those like year-end contest or play activity, I had to be a tree. I had to be a cat, and I would say meow, meow, and I didn't have to talk much in English. But anyway, okay, so what is the benefit? What are some advantages? Now, I think we have to think about this. Are you an outgoing person or are you a shy person? Okay? Because when I went to America, when you cannot talk, literally you cannot speak to anybody. You cannot talk or you cannot, make friends. If you can't talk, you can't make friends. So I was very shy. I wasn't outgoing. I was like that very quiet kid in the back of the room. But then, like when I participated in those plays, you would have to practice with other people, right? And you would have to spend time with them. And you have to overcome the stage fright. Stage fright. That fear that you have when you are on the stage in front of lots of people. It's called stage fright. In Korean, it is 무대 공포증, stage fright. But I overcame the difficulty and I, became more outgoing and I was able to make friends. So overall, it had a very good effect on me. It had a very good influence on me. Okay. So Hyun, I think the benefit of this is that students can improve their confidence. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Hyun. When standing in front of many people, they can overcome stage fright. Okay, stage fright is what you say. Let me type that up. Type out that word for you. It's stage fright. Stage fright. You see the word stage fright there? It's like being scared when you're on the stage. Okay, I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna paste it. Here you go. I overcame my stage fright. Or I can say, I had a stage. This is fun, typing my lecture. I had a stage fright, okay? I had stage fright. I was so scared. I was very shy. Okay, good. But, I practiced and I overcame and I became more outgoing. And I started to talk more in front of people, so I was able to make lots of friends, and I think those are all the benefits. But not many people. Do you guys? Have you guys participated in plays, like theater performance? It doesn't have to be like real theater performance. It can be just like high school thing. There are always like performances at school. So play, whatever acting that you've done in class. Could be fine. Yeah. Okay. So I think we have our answer there. All right. So let me give you my answer. Well, I think there are many advantages for high school students to be acting in a theater performance. And there are many reasons to support my opinion. But most of all, I think it is very helpful for them to become more confident. For example, when I was in high school, actually, I was very shy at first. So I didn't talk much. I didn't have many friends. But one day I had to participate in a play and I had to act in a theater performance. At first, I really didn't like it. I was scared. I had a stage fright and I didn't want to stand in front of my, other people, my friends or other, classmates. But I practiced a lot and I, talked to many of my classmates and I became more and more outgoing and I became more and more confident and I was able to overcome my stage fright. And thanks to this experience, I became more outgoing and confident. So it was very nice. That's why I think so. Okay? So for part 6, if you're a newcomer, I approach part 6 a little differently compared to other teachers because other teachers ask you guys to provide 2 reasons and 2 supporting ideas. But I just tell you guys, talk about your story. Tell them your story, or it can be a made-up story. Say as if you are telling a story. So Taeji said, when I was in high school, or when I was a high school student, I was shy and I couldn't speak in public. Oh, good. At that time, teacher Tom invited me to a drama club, and through the drama club, I was able to. Or you can say, I was no longer afraid to be in public. Okay, I was no longer afraid to be in public. Let me type that out for you. I was no longer afraid to talk. Let's say, let's talk in public. Okay? And I was able to express myself. Is that what you want us to say? And Hyun, my story is that last year I was offered to be an MC, Master of Ceremony, for the ceremony. Okay? At school, and there were so many people attending, which made me feel so nervous and uncomfortable. So what happened? Like, you can talk more about it. Did you give up? Well, you shouldn't give up, right? Well, you practiced a lot. You practiced in front of people. First, you practiced in front of your family. Next, you practiced in front of 10 of your friends. And later, you practiced more, so you felt more confident, and you overcame your nervousness, or you overcame your stage fright. Okay? That's the word you can use. Well done. So I think, guys, this is what I think. When you're talking in English, you have to feel comfortable. You already feel very uncomfortable to speak in English, right? So you have to use everything that is comfortable for you. You have to use comfortable words. You have to use comfortable expressions. If you use those huge words, it's going to be really hard to pronounce. It's going to be really hard to put them and use them correctly in a sentence. And it's going to be so uncomfortable, which is going to make you talk uncomfortably, right? English is already too hard for most of us. So you have to use comfortable words and comfortable expressions and comfortable pronunciations and sounds. But I kept calm thanks to my advice of my teacher. And I did well. I gave a successful speech. Hyun, that is a very, very well-made answer. And well done. If that's your real experience, that was really good. Well done. Okay? So just talk about your stories. Talk about your stories. Don't be shy. Tell us what similar experience you have for part 6, and that's how you can approach in an easier way. Okay? I received a big round of applause from lots of people. That's very, very touching. Very good story. Very good ending. And Taeyu Chiang said, I agree that students to be acting the start of this one has to be, there are many advantages. Chiang, it has to be, there are many advantages for high school students to be acting in a theater performance. Oh, Hyun, that was your real experience. Well done. First, about teamwork, they should finish the performance with each other and solve the problem together in the show. And second, about responsibility, they should complete the work they got in this period. All things considered, I agree that. Okay, so Taeyu Chiang, your way of providing answer is normally what people do. They give 2 reasons and 2 supportive ideas, but if you want to make it more personalized and easier answer, then I think it's better to talk about your experience, a storytelling. Oh, Seon, it's stage fright. Stage fright. At that time, I had a stage fright. I had a stage fright, or I overcame my stage fright. I overcame my stage fright. I was no longer afraid to speak in front of people. I was no longer afraid to talk in public. Okay? So those were some expressions that we used. Stage fright. It's not freight, it's fright. Stage fright. Okay? All right. So we covered up all 6 parts. Now I have some time, so I can have a little chat with you guys. So if you have any questions, anything related to English, TOEIC speaking, TOEIC writing, let me know. I'll answer them for you guys, and let's just chat for about 5 minutes. Oh, TK Lee said something here. There are some advantages for high school students to be acting in a theater performance. There are several reasons. And first of all, they can save the money and time. In my case, I choose a job in late year. I chose a job when I was older. It costs lots of money. If they act early, they can perform lots of time. TK Lee's answer is a little, it's really hard to get the idea. Okay. Yeah, it's a little hard to understand what you're trying to say. Brenda said, in my opinion, there are many benefits for students to be acting in a theater performance, but most of all, it can help them overcome stage fright. That's exactly what I'm saying. For example, when I was little, I was a shy little girl and I always got nervous when standing in front of a crowd. Later on, I participated in the acting club. I totally love what Brenda is saying. Yeah. Brenda, you're giving the right story there. Yeah. Guys, look at what Brenda is typing. Yeah, that's the story that I'm trying to say. And that I was trying to give. Hyun, it was really nice of you to share your own experience. But guys, it doesn't have to be your own experience. You know, you can just lie about it. Just make up a story and just get along with whatever the idea is and just create a story. It doesn't have to be a true story. At first, I was still very nervous, but after multiple practices, I started to feel more confident, and eventually I was able to overcome my fear, which was to stand on the stage. So clearly, joining a theater performance is very helpful for students. Brenda, your answer is perfect. Did you get level 8? I think you are good enough to get level 8. I mean, if you haven't, you should try because your English is very well done, or like script is very well made, and it's good enough to get level 8. So go for it. Well done. Okay. Good, everybody. So no need to provide 2 reasons, okay? No need to provide 2 reasons and 2 supportive ideas. Yeah, like Brenda just said, it doesn't have to be a true story. Yeah, Brenda did a very good job. Yeah, okay, that was well done. Until now, Hyun said, I cannot overcome the fear when standing in front of lots of people, and especially camera. I am talking in front of a camera, right? So if there are people, of course you get nervous. I get nervous. I sometimes get nervous too. But, you know, I think it all comes from practice. If you practice, you get better. Everything. When you practice, you can get better at everything. Oh, I have this one story that I want to share. So in the beginning of this year, when COVID started to happen, I got this little text message from my yoga guru. She said, because of COVID, we're going to cancel our classes until further notice. So I wasn't able to go to my yoga practices anymore in the morning. I was just starting, so I didn't know how to practice yoga alone. And that's when I, started to watch this YouTube channel, yoga channel, and I, practiced on my own. And in the beginning, I wasn't able to fold myself in half like this, bend over and fold myself in half. But now I can stand on my head. I can stand on my head. So, I think everything requires practice. And when you practice, you can become better. And language is the same thing. And especially when it's speaking, you have to practice speaking. Although this is a platform where we could only type, you have to be speaking to improve speaking. Okay. Thanks a lot for your help, Brenda. Oh, yeah. You watch many of my videos. Good, well done. I'm gonna produce more videos. I'm producing them right now, but Korean is first for me right now, and then I'm gonna update it in English. All right. Okay, so any other questions? Oh, Sejun. Can you say that in English, Sejun? Okay, so just practice. Practice will make perfect. And Hyun, thanks for your lecture. Wish you health, happiness, and success. Yeah, it's the Teacher's Day. Thank you, Hyun. Big love from Vietnam. Kyu Chang, I really appreciate your help. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming here. Please advise us about TOEIC L and R2. Oh, Taeji. Yeah, you're going to be here for a long time if you're going to talk about TOEIC with me. I will create more videos about TOEIC L and R. Don't worry. Okay, so it seems like although we're in this COVID situation, everybody's like passion to learn more English is still there. So as long as you guys want me to teach you guys something, I'll be here. I'll be making more content and I will communicate with you guys. And after this whole rearrangement of our channel is done, there's going to be more communication and hopefully more live shows. All right. So, next month, let's look at the date. Our show will be on the 18th, okay? Let's make it 18th, not the 25th, because 25th is the Christmas. So let's do on the 18th, December 18th. I will see you then, and that's when we'll meet next time. Oh, Brenda, I'm still struggling with writing, especially in part 7. Teacher, we always have to include at least an example in the essay when the example essay asked to add details and example? It doesn't matter. In the writing, if you want to exceed the number of words, if you want to fulfill the number of words, go with 2 examples, okay? Don't go with 1 example because if you're giving 1 example, sometimes you lack in word count. So give 2 examples. It could be something a little similar but different. Then you could, fulfill those words. I think it's 300 words, right? And even if the essay does require to have examples in it, could I still add 1 or maybe 2? Yeah, adding 2 is totally fine. Yeah, just try to fulfill that word count, 300. Check him, all capitals. Thank you for your class. It was really helpful. Well, yeah, thank you for joining me on a show today. I think we had a big audience today. And hopefully in December, we'll have bigger audience. Take care, and I'll see you at the last show of 2020 in December, okay? Leave your questions and comments below. I'll read them and answer them. Bye-bye.